Hi everyone, you reach Chronicles of the Gray Hair Diva. If this is your first time, welcome. If not, welcome back. For all you out there, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so that every time I upload a video, you will be notified. Hit the like button, chat with me in the comments, and when I get an opportunity, I will chat back. And share my video with your friends and family so that they can come to my channel and get to know me also. I'm here to talk about the latest episode of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. It was labeled, this particular episode was labeled The Dinner Party from Hell Part 2, Threats and Promises. And threats and promises because Erika Jayne is unhinged, out of control, all my opinion, unhinged, out of control, and she is being so incredibly nasty to Sutton. So she's pissed at Sutton because Sutton called her a liar, but I really want to know how Erika Jayne feels in real time when she really gets to see that actually all the things she's accusing Sutton of, the entire cast, with maybe the exception of Lisa Rinna and Kathy Hilton, feel the same way. And I didn't mention Crystal because Crystal, I think she still hasn't found her way with these group of girls yet, and she just wants to be with the people that are in the in crowd, and she'll say whatever she needs to say to kind of fit in. My opinion, because what she said to me was messy, but we'll get to that in one moment. So Erika is pissed at Sutton. Sutton did feel like, Erika's stories didn't match up, but Sutton is not the only one that felt that way. So she pretty much had to express it because every time they come around and they're together as a group, people are forcing Sutton to be the one to speak up, to say all the things that she was saying about Erika. So Kyle told Sutton to speak her truth. Everybody's telling Sutton to speak her truth. So Sutton addressed her and say, listen, okay, I did say this. I felt like you were lying. I felt like, your stories didn't add up. So Erika Jayne was pissed. She went off. She told her, don't ever call me a liar. You could get sued. I mean, it was a whole hot mess. And then Kyle said, you can't be threatening people like that. And that's when Erika did a whole remix of the words and said, I'm not threatening her. I'm making a promise. Well, Erika, a promise that has nasty words and intent behind it is a threat, okay? I promise I'm going to get you. That's a threat, honey. So she threatened Sutton pretty much, but I'll relabel it like Erika Jayne did. She makes a promise to Sutton. Sutton gets pissed. Sutton leaves. And that is like the end, for the most part, to the dinner from hell. Garcelle tried to jump in and, speak up for Sutton, but Erika Jayne shut her down. She shut Dorit down when Dorit tried to say something, and she shut Kyle down. But Garcelle announces at the end of the dinner party from hell that she's going to have a dinner party for all of the ladies because she wants them to indulge and get a taste of her culture, the Haitian culture, and she's going to make, traditional Haitian dishes. So Garcelle throws her dinner party with these traditional Haitian dishes. Everybody shows up with the exception of Kathy Hilton. Kathy ghosted Garcelle, didn't even send Garcelle a text saying she wasn't coming. But I'm going to be very honest with you. I got the feeling when the ladies was at Garcelle's house that none of them really wanted to be there. Out of all of the cast, I think Garcelle's house is probably the smallest. It's not as elaborate. But you know what? Garcelle is humble. And not only is she humble, but she has a beautiful home, and maybe it's not on the same scale or level as the other ladies, but she still has an amazing home. So anyway, everyone showed up with the exception of Kathy Hilton. Kind of awkward because Erika and Sutton are not speaking, and they were in the same space at this dinner party together. So it was a little bit messy at the dinner party in terms of that. They have a great dinner. Lisa Renner was a little bit complaining about the Haitian food. She doesn't eat fish, she doesn't this, but she tried. I guess we'll give her a try. She did try. But I felt like they also kind of punked Garcelle a little bit, but I didn't understand it somewhat either. After they finish having dinner at the dinner table at Garcelle's house, they all go sit on the couch and they're like, it's freezing in here. And Garcelle claims she had the heat on, but then she started passing out coats to everybody so, they can warm themselves up. But I was like a little bit confused and shocked about that. I'm like, why is her house so cold, first of all? And if you have the heat on, maybe turn it up, but you're passing out coats. But did that matter? I think that was the ladies' excuse to, exit the building, because half of them left at that point. And when half of them left, the people that was left was Kyle, I want to say Sutton, and what is her name? And Crystal. I can't deal with Crystal. I mean, she too is Team Erika. And the reason why she's Team Erika, because I think, first of all, her and Sutton did not hit it off at first together. And so it's easy to be Team Erika. But the reasoning behind her being Team Erika makes absolutely no sense. And that's why I don't get Crystal. Crystal said at the dinner party from hell, she was like, well, if someone called me a liar and, kept coming at me, the same reaction that Erika Jayne had towards Sutton, Crystal saying she would have had that too. Really though, Crystal? I don't believe that. I feel like Crystal is just trying to find her way in the group, and she's picking Erika Jayne's side. And why? Because who wants the wrath of Erika Jayne? The entire cast, in my opinion, with the exception of, Kathy Hilton, I think they're scared of her. No one wants to approach Erika. Everyone's scared to approach Erika. So they put in, the gullible one, the one that they could kind of push around without seeming like they're pushing around. That's why they keep pushing Sutton to ask the questions that they don't want to ask. And Sutton said that in her confessional, and I wholeheartedly 100% agree with her. I'm looking at my notes to see what else I want to talk about. I just remembered PK. There's a scene with Dorit and PK. And I will say this, 100% I agree with PK. He dropped some knowledge. He seemed to be the only one that kind of gets it, that what Erika's doing right now, whether she knew or did not know, is not a good look. He also said too, and I mean, I don't know if we can say this wholeheartedly 100%. He's saying that, nothing is alleged with Erika Jayne's estranged husband, Tom Girardi. He's saying that, everything that they saying Tom did, he did do, as in take, his client's money inappropriately and used it for his own expenses and elaborate lifestyle. He said the only thing that is in question right now is his claims of not knowing and, not being in the right mental state and frame mind right now to be, I guess, put on trial or held accountable for these things that he's being accused of. But outside of that, the thing that I think that PK said that I'm in agreement with 100% is that, one, Erika Jayne, regardless of what she did or didn't know, the way she's going about and carrying and conducting her life right now, she's spitting in the face of the victims. She's spitting in the face of all of these people that, did not get their money. And she's not, conducting herself in a way that is protective to her brand and her image. And I wholeheartedly agree with PK. I said this before and I will constantly repeat it. whoever advised her to do this season of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, they messed up. She messed up. And I think it's going to cost her more than she ever would have known when she was signing on papers to say yes to this particular season. Whatever paycheck she got to do this season, it was not worth it, because she's going to lose so much more just because of the way that she's portraying herself on this particular season. Again, my opinion. So anyway, to wrap this whole thing up, I'm going to say, one, I wish the entire cast goes to odds, get some courage, and stand up to Erika Jayne. You are allowed to ask questions. And yes, you can be guilty by association. You know how many people they do that to because you was associated with this one and they did XYZ. Not saying it's right, but the whole world connects you to that sometimes too. So they should be allowed to ask you questions, Erika. If your story does add up and she's calling you a liar, you know what? You can still be mad at her, but you say to her, well, you're calling me a liar, but let me tell you why these dots do connect. Okay? But you're mad and you're pissed and you're angry and you're saying what you don't have to take from her, and you're aggressive with your words. Anyway, guys, let me know how you felt about this particular episode. Did they punk Garcelle by sitting there talking about it's freezing in her house, okay? And was Kathy Hilton right for ghosting Garcelle? She could at least send Garcelle a text saying, listen, I can't make it for, whatever reason. Garcelle only finds out once Kyle gets there. And do you feel that the entire cast is scared out of their mind of Erika Jayne? Let me know your thoughts. Chat with me in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.